The vintage chandelier in my parents' Lake Tahoe lodge glowed softly, scattering light over a table fit for boardrooms, not family warmth. I settled into my usual seat, as far as possible from my father's commanding spot at the head. The summons for this urgent family meeting had arrived yesterday, penned in my mother's elegant but tense handwriting. "Ava, really?" she snapped, fussing with the pinecone centerpiece. "Would it kill you to dress like a professional?" I glanced at my cashmere sweater and navy trousers, minimalist but worth more than her whole ski wardrobe. But appearances meant nothing here unless they screamed old money. My brother Nathan swept in next, 38, CFO of Sterling Holdings, every inch the golden boy, his expensive cologne preceding him. He gave me a condescending grin. "Still tinkering with that crypto thing? Selling imaginary coins to broke 20-somethings? I only smiled, let him talk. He didn't know I'd just finished a video interview with Forbes for their Women to Watch feature, with a photo shoot at dawn. "Let's begin," my father said, his voice sharp with decades of corporate command. "We're here because Ava's situation has become problematic." My situation. That's what they called building a blockchain platform from scratch, rejecting nepotism, and scaling to a Series C round backed by global VCs. "It's hurting the family's image," my mother added, pearls clinking. "You've had your little experiment, darling." My top-floor office in the Transamerica Pyramid begged to differ. So did the acquisition contract in my bag. In less than 2 hours, Sterling Holdings' biggest competitor would be mine. "We've been patient," Nathan said, checking his watch. "It's time to come home." My phone buzzed. Lila, my COO. "Press release ready. Goes live at 7 p.m. I glanced at my watch. 1 hour, 53 minutes. Then everything would change. "We found you something," Dad declared. "Junior strategist at Sterling Holdings. You can start Monday." I searched his face for recognition. Did he realize the woman across the table was about to be profiled in the Wall Street Journal as a fintech visionary? That Forbes just named me the future of decentralized finance? "Did you know," I said lightly, "Forbes drops their most powerful women in tech list today?" Nathan waved a hand. "Yeah, I've been shortlisted for years." He hadn't, but no one corrected him. Mom cleared her throat. "Actually, there's something even more urgent. The country club board meets tomorrow," Mom said, voice tight. "People keep asking what you do. Can't you give me something simple to say?" I nearly laughed. "The same country club my holding company secretly acquired last month, along with half the lakeside properties my parents worshipped." "What do you tell them?" I asked. "Well," Mom hesitated, clutching her pearls, "we keep it vague." "It's easier than admitting your daughter builds financial infrastructure," I said. "Shopify plugins?" Nathan muttered under his breath. My phone buzzed. Leela, my COO. "Newsroom's prepped. Everything launches at 7 p.m. sharp." "The point is," Dad cut in, frustration simmering, "this has gone on long enough. You're 32, Ava. Time to join the real world." "The real world," I repeated, picturing our valuation report placing my company at $2,400,000,000, 0 cents, 0 cents. "Yes," Nathan said, folding his arms. "Where success is measured in revenue, not retweets." Then our phones all buzzed at once. News alerts filled the room. Breaking. Largest fintech acquisition in history confirmed. $4,800,000,000, 0 cents deal, led by startup CEO Ava Whitaker. I calmly sipped my water. "Speaking of numbers," I said, "how's Sterling Holdings' digital division doing?" Dad frowned at his phone. "Stable, but this could shift confidence." "White-knuckling stability," I murmured. "Not ideal these days." "And how would you know that?" Nathan snapped. "From selling code to influencers?" I rose, smoothing my sweater. "I should get back. Some of us have industries to reshape." "Sit down," Dad barked. "We're not finished discussing your future." I picked up my purse. "Actually," I said evenly, "I think the future's about to discuss itself." At the door, Mom called. "Don't forget about the junior strategist role. They need your answer tomorrow." I paused, hand on the knob, smiling faintly. I'll have to decline. I've got a board meeting. My board. You're what? Nathan stammered, but I was already walking out, leaving them in stunned silence. In my real office. Penthouse level, Transamerica Pyramid, Lila grinned. They really have no idea who you are, do they? The youngest female CEO on the Fortune 500? They'll know soon enough, I murmured, turning toward the massive glass windows framing the San Francisco skyline, city lights flickering like stars. Time to rewrite the version of me they'd clung to for years. At 6:55 p.m., I stepped into the elevator. Leela handed me a sleek black folder for optics. Your brother keeps calling, she said. Sterling Holdings stock is twitchy. I smirked. Tell him to keep watching. The real fireworks haven't started. When the elevator opened, the lobby was electric. Flashing cameras, reporters whispering, news crews filming live. At the center stood a podium emblazoned with the Zenith FinTech logo. My phone buzzed. A message from Dad. Heard something big's happening in FinTech. Might impact our market. Let's talk about that strategist job. I slid the phone into my pocket without replying. He'd find out soon enough. I stepped to the podium, lights blazing, cameras clicking. Good evening, I began, my voice steady. I'm Ava Whitaker, CEO of Zenith Financial Technologies. A visible ripple swept through the crowd. As I announced our $8,200,000,000 0 cents acquisition of Dominion Bank's digital division and unveiled our AI-driven banking platform, I knew this was the moment that would redefine everything. If you've ever been underestimated, dismissed, or told to play small, stick around, I said, meeting the cameras head-on, because the next chapter of this story proves how powerful quiet ambition can be. My phone buzzed wildly. 52 missed calls from Dad, 39 from Mom, 67 from Nathan, over 200 texts and counting. I leaned back in my chair, the city glittering below the penthouse windows. Lila entered, setting a fresh espresso beside me. Coverage is everywhere. Tech prodigy Ava Whitaker emerges as FinTech's quiet powerhouse. Zenith AI reshapes the banking landscape. Sterling Holdings left reeling as daughter claims the crown. She lowered her voice. Your dad's tried getting past security 3 times. Nathan's threatening to call the police if we don't let him in. I scrolled through messages. From Dad, what have you done? Call me. From Mom, darling, we're so proud. The country club will be thrilled. From Nathan, you manipulative little, how long were you planning this? The intercom buzzed. If you've ever dreamed of proving the world wrong, hit subscribe and join me for the next chapter, because this story is only getting started. Miss Whitaker, my assistant said, poking her head in, the Forbes photographer is here for your cover shoot. I turned to the window, the San Francisco skyline sparkling beneath me. From here, I could see Sterling Holdings Tower, the same place they'd once offered me a junior analyst job, where Nathan still believed he ruled the world. Send them up, I said, and Leela, bring me today's trading reports. Zenith up 40%? Sterling's at 25%, she confirmed. The market had spoken. Then my private line rang. Only 5 people had that number. Elizabeth Chen, Forbes' editor-in-chief. Ava, she said warmly, we're finalizing the headline, The Silent Revolution, How Ava Whitaker Rewrote Modern Finance. Any last quote? I thought of family dinners, lectures, and endless dismissals. Just one, I said. Success doesn't need permission, only patience. After the shoot, Lila returned with updates. 3 major banks want integration talks. 6 others want licensing deals. She paused. Also, your brother's giving interviews. I glanced at the screen. Nathan stood outside Sterling Holdings, his smile forced. Of course, we supported Ava's venture, he said on camera. The Whitaker family has always encouraged innovation. I muted the feed, sent him a cease and desist, I told Lila. No unauthorized statements about Zenith or me. Already filed, she said. Also, your mom's posted 7 times this hour about her brilliant daughter who takes after me. I let out a soft laugh. Amazing how fast a risky hobby becomes a visionary empire when it's followed by 9 zeros. A knock interrupted us. Miss Whitaker, my assistant said. Your father's here. And he brought your grandfather. I froze for a moment. Alexander Whitaker Sr., the man who built Sterling Holdings from a single office and a rotary phone, who'd taught me compound interest before I could reach his ledgers, long before my father and brother dismissed me from the business world. Send them up, I said. And Leela, pull the acquisition proposal for Sterling Holdings. I glanced at my reflection in the window. The same minimalist white blouse my mother criticized earlier. Funny how different it looked when it belonged to an empire. The door opened. Dad entered first, tense. Grandpa followed, calm and steady. Quiet one, he murmured, surveying my office. Always watching, always learning. I wondered when you'd finally show them, Grandpa said quietly. Dad's head snapped up. You knew? Since she was 12, Grandpa replied, settling into the chair across from my desk. She corrected my forecasts over breakfast, while you were too busy bragging about Nathan's investment portfolio. I stayed silent, watching my father's pride fracture under the weight of truth. Why? Dad finally asked. Why keep all this from us? Keep what? I said. Zenith was built legally and transparently. I even used our family name. You just never saw past your assumptions. But your tech business was one shell company, I said, a tiny part of what I was really building. Grandpa chuckled. And now she owns the country club that wouldn't even give her full membership. Dad flinched. What? I smiled faintly. Zenith bought it last month. I did, I confirmed, folding my hands. Along with most of the properties in that gated community you and Mom love to brag about. Amazing what you can buy when people don't take you seriously enough to check the paperwork. Dad's face fell. This could destroy Sterling Holdings, he said. No, I replied, sliding a leather folder across the desk. This could save it, if you're willing to take the offer. His fingers shook slightly as he opened it. His eyes moved over the pages, slower than usual. A merger? He murmured. A strategic one, I said. Sterling Holdings becomes part of Zenith. You keep the name, some autonomy. But instead of fighting change, you join the future. And if we refuse? I tapped my screen, pulling up a live demo of our AI banking platform. It's already running in 5 regional banks, I said. If you say no, you'll be competing against a platform valued at 4 times your entire firm, against momentum you can't stop. Your brother will never agree, Dad muttered, though his voice wavered. Nathan already lost your 3 biggest clients this afternoon, I said calmly. They signed transition contracts after my press conference. He won't decide. The board will. Grandpa leaned forward, eyes bright. You've played this beautifully. A clean checkmate. I learned from you, I said. You always told me to watch the quiet ones. They see what the loud ones miss. A knock interrupted us. Leela stepped in, holding new reports. Zenith's up another 15% after hours, she said. Sterling's just been downgraded. Dad rose slowly, realization dawning in his eyes. That junior analyst offer was beneath me then, I said evenly, just like it is now. The difference? Now you finally know why. Dad nodded once, silent, then turned and left. I faced the skyline again. The Bay Bridge glowed against the night. Tomorrow would bring more headlines and questions. But tonight, in my simple white blouse, I sat at the center of everything I'd built. Not for revenge, but for truth. Because sometimes the real victory is when they realize they never truly knew you. The Forbes cover dropped at midnight. My face stared back beneath the headline, The Silent Revolution, How a Daughter Built an Empire While Her Family Built Excuses. By 6:30 a.m., I was walking into Zenith Tower, slipping past reporters gathered outside. In my office, Lila waited with coffee. Nathan's on CNBC, she said, handing me the mug, claiming he's been your secret mentor all along. She turned on the muted live feed. Nathan looked polished, but the panic behind his eyes was obvious. The numbers? I asked. Zenith opened up 30%, Sterling Holdings down 45%. Their board meets in an hour to discuss our offer. My phone buzzed. A text from Mom. Darling, the country club is a buzz. I've been invited to join 3 charity boards. When can we schedule a family portrait for the society pages? I deleted it without replying. Your grandfather's here, my assistant said over the intercom. He brought documents. Grandpa entered, carrying an old leather briefcase, the same one he'd used to teach me market cycles as a kid. Thought you'd want these, he said, placing faded papers on my desk. Your first predictive model, age 12, the one that forecasted the 2008 crash, in crayon. You kept these? I asked softly. Every idea, every paper, even your undergrad thesis on algorithmic lending. You always saw the future. Grandpa sighed. Your dad never asked. Too busy molding Nathan into his double. He checked his watch. They're voting now. I opened a live feed from Sterling Holdings' boardroom. Nathan stood at the head, gesturing wildly. Even without sound, his meaning was clear. This is a hostile takeover. We can't let her win. Grandpa chuckled. Speaking of winning, your mom just changed her Facebook banner to your Forbes cover. I smiled. Quiet victories echo the loudest when no one sees them coming. She conveniently cropped out the part where you called them out for never supporting you, Grandpa said, glancing at my mother's social media posts. Some things never change, I murmured, just as the intercom buzzed. Oops. Ms. Whitaker. My assistant's voice came through, calm but tinged with anticipation. The Sterling Holdings board vote is in. I sat up straighter, eyes fixed on the live feed. The chairman rose, clearing his throat. Nathan sat frozen, shoulders slumped. My father stared ahead, his expression hollow. They've accepted, my assistant confirmed. Full merger, your terms. They want to announce immediately to stop the stock's free fall. Grandpa gave a soft laugh beside me. Well played. So, now what? Now, I said, pressing the intercom. Send in the transition team. And Lila? Initiate integration protocol. Within hours, Zenith teams were moving through Sterling Holdings' glass-walled offices. Nathan was escorted out, his protests echoing down the hall. He'd be offered a role eventually, but only after he learned humility. Dad was granted the title of Chairman Emeritus. Decorative, powerless. As for me, I had a multi-billion-dollar empire to run. Over the next few weeks, Zenith transformed Sterling Holdings from the inside out. Our AI platform replaced outdated systems. The merged stock soared, and my family adapted slowly. Mom stopped hinting at introductions to eligible men and started pitching venture ideas. Nathan, stripped of his title, took an entry-level role in our analytics division. For the first time, he was actually learning. A month after the merger, my assistant came in again. Your brother's here, says it's important. Nathan stepped inside. No designer suit, no smug grin. I've been reviewing the AI platform, he said quietly. It's brilliant. I didn't understand what you were building. You never tried, I said, my voice gentle. He nodded. I know, and I'm sorry. Not because you won, but because I wasted so long trying to be Dad's replica. I studied him. Well, the real junior analyst position is open. Want it? You'd trust me? Trust is earned, I said. Like success. Ready to earn both? Yes, he said. For the first time, he meant it. Welcome to Zenith, I said, extending my hand. Leave your assumptions at the door. That night, I framed my Forbes cover beside my childhood prediction models. Beneath them, I hung that simple white blouse, not for nostalgia, but to remember what quiet power looks like. Because while they were doubting me, I was building. And I was just getting started. If my story resonated with you, leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts or your own moments of quiet triumph. Support me on this journey by subscribing and joining a community that believes in building silently and striking boldly. My advice? Never wait for permission to chase your vision. People will underestimate you, doubt you, or try to mold you into their image. Let them, and then surprise them. Build your empire brick by brick, even when no one's watching. Because the loudest victories come from those who dared to believe in themselves when no one else did.